31 trucks will do battle here at Talladega. This is the prelude to the Talladega Derby, the most famed, the most sought-after race in iRacing history. But tonight, Frontier Truck Tour brings you a show of their own. They got to go through the entire long trial to get to the start-finish line to win this race. Plenty of opportunities to pass. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Dega Dash. As we get our first lap started here, we already have almost 3 lines of racing. We'll cut back down to 2, but guys looking out, Ricky Mendonça almost gets himself turned across the nose of Wesley Kuznov. Holy cow, that was close. We're 4 wide just behind Alicia. I don't think anybody's playing it safe right now.
We had a couple of guys here at the start on the low line, I think either miss a gear or spin the tire, so it was real tight and cramped, and that bounced all the way to the back of the field. The guys in the back especially were thrown out of line trying to avoid from smashing into each other. Or it seems like whether we're both a lap down or both fighting for the lead, we're always right next to each other here lately. So I think those two hooking up is a recipe for success. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it later in the race too.
Right now, Wesley Kuznov. Oh, we got to spin. That's Gordon Spain, Casey Ellis. They cut through the grass. They'll rejoin the field.
Oh,
Can
wow.
they stay in the draft?
No caution. They saved it.
I guess your biggest worry right now is if they could stay within the draft. Gordon Spain right now at the tail end. He might be able to catch Casey Ellis, but we do have an instant report. We'll take a look at it here in just a moment. Brandon Meyer will have the lead. Hunter East on his rear bumper, and then it's Douglas Henry who just got left out all alone. Let's go ahead and take a look at this replay. What did we miss there at the tri-oval? Gordon Spain in the middle, Casey Ellis in that green and purple truck in the center. What goes wrong? Ooh, Casey Ellis comes up the track and hooks Gordon Spain. And now watch this save here. I mean, they practically barely have to save to get back on track. To average right around 26 laps of fuel in the tank. In the draft, I think you can make it save to 40.
Whoa, big wreck.
We got Aiden Gould around, playoff driver into the fence. Brody Cummings was involved. And the 11.
And that was a hard wreck, Noah. That was real bad.
No instant report. We'll have to look at it the old-fashioned way. Here we go. This is the 11 of Brody Cummings. Aiden Gould in the 70, in front of the 77. Looks to the high line. Oh, the 77 might have tried to go up there and help him, but he actually left hooks him. Leaves Brody Cummings with nowhere to go.
Yeah, it looks like that top line was checking up pretty hard, and meanwhile the back half of the top line was starting to come together. They had a little bit of room in between them, so they went from having a run to having to whoa up, and just that bounces all the way through, and Aiden finds himself just the victim of circumstance in the wrong spot there. Hopefully the damage isn't too severe, but that hit was right into that rear wheel, and I bet he's got some pretty serious wheel damage there.
Dega. Pete Tart will drop down to the inside off the front bumper of Jordan Marion and lead that bottom line. He's going to put 2 playoff drivers behind him. Jordan Marion up top with Raymond Wimmer and Gary Smoke on that high line, coming back around to complete Lap number 16, 2 lines side by side. Alicia, when you're in these type of predicaments where sometimes you can't always work with your teammates, they might be caught up in another position, there's a truck in between you, and so you're kind of racing with maybe not randoms in terms of you don't know who they are, but in a league setting, not your teammates, maybe you've never really talked to them that much. How do you find a way to communicate without really communicating that you want to get something done, as well, Gordon Spain's going to put 3 wide middle in the vacuum and drop back?
Well, it's one of the more difficult things to do. You'll always try to hop into the voice chat and maybe communicate, though that can be lost, especially if other people are chatting. Sometimes you just kind of hope that the car being an extension of your body means your body language can communicate what you want to do. If you're right up on that back end of somebody pushing real hard, they're going to know you want to go. And if you've got a little bit of space and you're kind of veering off to one side, maybe they'll recognize that you want to get into this lane, or maybe that you're starting to overheat and you need to pull off. You just kind of have to hope that they understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. And typically it's not too difficult, but it's always leaving a little bit up for translation. Keep a lot of things in mind at Talladega all at the same time. It's not enough that you have to drive this car at 180, 190 miles an hour around the track. You got to keep in mind the racing points, the politics, who you like, who you don't like, and who needs to hit that wall.
Oh, speaking of hitting walls, Gould got squirrely. Mendonça jumped up there. Ely was all over Gould. Woldridge is up there. That got a little hairy. And, well, I don't think any driver has spent as much time on the third lane at a super speedway than Aiden Gould. He will go up there whenever he feels like it and try to find a way to get to the front. And he's doing that again here in the Dega Dash Season 3 Frontier Truck Tour Race 11. And he has Anthony Ely and Jason Woldridge. He goes, hey, I recognize you guys. Come on, let's go do something. Let me see what you got. That's Aiden's attitude. He'll work with anybody if he thinks he can get to the front. So Ely's now in charge of pushing the Gooner. Truck Tour Season 3. Pete Tart leads. 3,065 points. Hunter East 5 off of him. Gould 12 off of Pete. Douglas 17 off of Pete. Legat 5th in points.
Whoa.
20 off of Pete. And we got a wreck.
Whoa, we got a wreck.
Oh, 4 or 5 trucks. Chris Fleming, Jaden Alexander, Douglas Henry, Ricky Whitworth, Chris Sawyer, and it looks like Mike Hasty is involved as well. Thomas Melnick, race control typically for Frontier. Letting Barney do the work today. Jaden Alexander. Again, sorry Emmanually, but Thomas Melnick sideways like he's losing the truck, and then he hooks the 18. I don't know why you would be out of control there. Raymond Wimmer, I mean, look at all these guys pile in. Steven James, playoff driver, barely misses at the bottom of the screen with Gary. Never mind, Gary gets caught.
Oh, poor
Raymond.
Gary. Oh, he almost made it.
Ricky Mendonça, Gordon Spain, Aaron Warren, Mark Sutton, Anthony Ely, Hunter East, Derek Stanley, your top 10. We're back racing here at Talladega. Ethan Walker gets a good launch and jumps to the outside line. Aiden Gould trying to look to the outside to go around him, and I don't even think that Matthew Legat was that convinced he wanted to go with him. That's how aggressive Gould is at not wanting to lead. It's a miraculous thing. Or excuse me, not wanting to be behind somebody. He obviously wants to lead. Outside line is formed. Casey Ellis, Hunter East will jump up to help out that line. I think Mark Sutton, no, that's the 77 of Robert Keach Jr. up there with the 7 truck of Jaden Alexander. And by the way, it's not a coincidence that there are 4 Jack Links jerky trucks out there. Alicia, there are 4 Jack Links jerky trucks. All of them are teammates. And so far, they're all still in the, I mean, we only have 1 DNF. So I think 3 out of the 4 are in the race. We believe Brody Cummings was one of the Jack Links trucks.
Really awesome to see some team pride like that, and good on them for getting a sponsor that believes in them. That's really awesome. Love their products too. So
you a Jack
really
Links
nice
fan?
to see them out here. Love the Jack Links, especially their bags of oh shoot, the not the cinnamon. I've got
Jerky?
a couple different flavors that are like, yeah, their jerky's the best.
Yeah. Well, when I was younger, like in like middle school to high school, maybe not high school, maybe just middle school, I'd get the Jack Links, like ground up dried beef jerky cans that look like dip cans and take it to school and pack a fat lip of beef jerky. I was that kid back in high school. And I don't do real tobacco now, so it was not what all the media and all the parents would jab about those cans. It did not make me want to do real tobacco yet. So I've done it once or twice, but I don't go to the store and buy tobacco. So the beef jerky was enough for me, and that got me my fix. It was all about
That jerky
cool.
is so savory and salty too. So the fact that you packed your lip with it is making my mouth salivate on your behalf. That sounds like a terrible experience. Hunter East makes his move to get right back up there.
Oh, Gordon Spain blocking. By the way, these two have very limited time racing against each other. Of course, Spain was in PAL when Hunter got banned, and I'm sure he's well aware of him, and he's raced him for the last few weeks, but man, Gordon Spain is not afraid to throw blocks at Hunter East. Just unfortunately for G Spain, it works out for Hunter where he gets out front. But look who's on his rear bumper right now, Alicia. I don't know about this one. He don't like him.
I think a lot of these alliances that you see partway through the race are purely conditional and temporary. You see everyone work with everyone, try to feel out who's really got good control of their car. And only towards the end do you really see everyone's true alliances come out and really race the way that they want to race.
Hunter East leads, Douglas Henry on his bumper. Then it's Derek Stanley, 3 playoff drivers nose to tail. Do you trust Anthony and Wooldridge to know what they're doing in a super speedway as Wooldridge pushes Anthony? Of course, we all know that the saying, Alicia, what is it? What don't you do?
You never push the pusher, no.
And that's what Wooldridge is doing. So that might cause an issue, but right now, Doug is appreciating the help. He's staying out in front. Wooldridge is all over his teammate's bumper. The trucks are stable enough. Maybe they can get away with it. And here comes Aiden Gould. Oh my gosh, I thought Ely was about to turn him. Here goes Ely, and now we're wrecking. Oh, Gould's up in the fence. Oh no.
Oh, they're
Gould's
wrecking in
on
front.
his side.
Oh no.
Oh no. I just had to mention it. Gould finally brought it back down on all 4. Mark Sutton, Mike Hasty, maybe even Pete Tarts. Oh, Zippy, why did I do that? Gould has already towed, by the way.
Yeah, I think that is it for Gould. He was on his side for the majority of that crash. And you normally don't recover well from something that serious. But man, it looked like just a 1 or 2 car incident, and then something happened mid-pack there where everybody was sort of, letting their breath out. Okay, we made it through, and somebody wasn't paying attention, I think, and just got together.
Wooldridge will dump his team. So Wooldridge got too low on the right rear of Anthony Ely, sends Ely up into the Gooner. You're going to see Wooldridge come down to the right rear of Anthony. I don't think he really realizes, oh shit, I'm on his right rear. Anthony tries to, there's just not much he can do. Yeah, look at the checkup on the bottom line, Alicia. You can see it as Gould goes airborne. Pete gets into the back of, I think that's Mark Sutton. Raymond Wimmer gets into him. There's Ethan Walker. Aaron Warren is spinning. And look at this little ride out of Gould. He's just on his door. Oh. How does he get back on all 4? Oh.
I think he just clips the grass there, and it's able to roll back over. Rather fortunate.
Here we go. Green flag is up. Green flag is out. Douglas Henry, Jason Wooldridge lead them to green. 16 laps to go. Can we keep it green? Now 15. Douglas Henry, good launch. Jason Wooldridge now side by side with Derek Stanley. 77 of Robert Keesh Jr. side by side with Gordon Spain. So now that Doug has the lead, where does he put that truck? He does not block the outside line. He sticks to the bottom. Does he stay down there for the majority of this run? And for the rest of the field, Alicia, is everybody now just pushing hard to get to the front? Surely there's no point in trying to get out of the wreck. You got to hope you're just not in the wreck when it happens.
I think that's exactly it. I think you're going to see everybody pushing to get up front. I think that middle line there is going to be the preferred line to pass. We've seen that all race where people are going to push up the middle and then cut down in front of the leader. If these guys are smart, they're going to keep that lead in the middle lane. And even if that lead extends 3, 4, 5 cars long, I'd stay in that high line there. So an alliance by convenience and necessity, probably only those reasons, but don't be surprised if they split up a little bit later in this run.
Jordan Spain.
Whoa!
Oh no! It's Jordan Marion's around off the front bumper of Jason Wooldridge. Ronnie Lane involved. Mike Hasty. Brett Murphy,
Chris Fleming with
driver.
a hard hit to the nose.
Ronnie Lane. Oh no! I don't know what happened, but I believe Jordan Marion was spinning. He was on the front nose of Jordan Marion. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh, it's already happened. We got to go back further for you race fans. So we got
Looks like Wooldridge
Jason
and Marion
Wooldridge
had a
pushing.
bad bump there.
Doug? Does he? I don't know if Doug's actually close enough to give Wooldridge. So, ooh. Wooldridge is just half a lane up from Jordan. Jordan's trying to get back to the front bumper of Wooldridge, and it's going to hook him. And now, Ronnie Lane, Ricky Mendonça, Brett Murphy, Chris Fleming. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Oh, that's gnarly. Here we go into the restart zone. Green flag is up. Green flag is out. And we're just under 10 to go. Gordon Spain leads them. We're back racing at Dega. Can we keep it green to the checkered? Gordon Spain, good launch. Teammate here tonight, Aaron Warren on that outside line. Stephen James, Spencer Burton, their teammates. And then Matthew Legat, kind of friends with everybody in this group. He has to be smart in who he decides to go with because he can burn some bridges. But right now, Stephen James with the push of Legat. Oh! Aaron Warren jumped to the outside. Was that because he got a crazy run, or was he trying to make a move? I'm not sure. He'll have to duck back in line. Pete Turks on the outside all alone. Stephen James leads the bottom with Legat and Douglas Henry in tow. Chris Fleming, first career start. He's P4 right now. Could you imagine if he won tonight?
He was involved in that last incident, too. Man, he got that truck fixed up nicely. He's looking speedy and aggressive.
I think these trucks could take a big hit, man, because he hit that guy pretty hard. Douglas Henry gets to the rear bumper of Stephen James, and he is going to pick up that outside line being led by Mark Sutton, who was also involved in a wreck today. Douglas Henry leads the top, Stephen James on the bottom. Mark Sutton, Matthew Legat are pushing your leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to the dying stages of this race. Can we keep it green? Pete Tart on the outside line with Wesley Kuznoff and Ronnie Lane trying to get a run going. And Douglas Henry has the lead by half a truck. Alicia, you said the outside line was going to be the advantage all night long. Will that hold here with 5 laps to go?
I think it's going to hold, but it's going to be even tougher than it's been all night to try to get to the front that way because everyone's going to be in it, and that bottom line is going to be bound and determined to not let it happen.
Douglas Henry needs to make that truck 3 lanes wide. Right now he has Mark Sutton behind him. G-Spain, Pete Tart jump up to the outside line to make something happen. But Douglas Henry leads 3 lines right now with Dega. 5 laps to go. Gordon Spain with a run on the outside. He's on the right rear of Douglas Henry. Doug can't block it. Down low, Stephen James is that bottom line finally losing momentum. Gordon Spain has the lead now at Dega. He could drop in front of Douglas Henry. Gordon Spain, your new leader, as they go through turns 3 and 4, coming to 4 to go.
I can't believe Spain gave Pete Tart some fresh air. He's going to go to the front. There's no way around it.
Pop-Tart Pete has help right now. Oh, that's Ronnie Lane! And we're wrecking on the front straightaway. Chris Fleming, Ronnie Lane, Gary Smoke, Jordan Marion, Derek Stanley. Oh, Ronnie Lane. Big hit.
Ronnie Lane just took a huge shot in the rear of the truck. Oh, that was awful.
Casey Ellis involved. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get a green-white checkered. Let's take a look at the replay. So Gary Smoke jumps out of the second line and basically right hooks Ronnie Lane. And they're going to come down and grab Chris Fleming, Derek Stanley, Jordan Marion, the 71 of Mike Hasty, Casey Ellis. I mean, even the pace car needs to watch out where he's going. He can get clipped. To the green flag for your first green-white checkered, Alicia. Can we see that come to fruition and get this win?
I think we can, Noah. Gordon definitely had an interesting first impression with me. I'll leave it at that. But he's turned into a really awesome, great racer and awesome ad for this league.
Gordon Spain leads the field, and he will clear Mark Sutton side by side with G. Spain's teammate here for tonight, Douglas Henry. Behind Doug is Pop-Tart Pete. Wesley Kuznov on the bottom, trying to push Mark Sutton down the back straightaway. Mark Sutton, he'll get even. Spencer Burton gets shunted out of line. So does Gary Smoke. They try to re-enter it. Nearly gets Harry. Stephen James will give him room. Can you believe that? With 2 to go,
wow.
Stephen moves out of the way for his teammate Spencer Burton. And now Gordon Spain leads. Douglas Henry on his rear bumper. If we get back to the flag stand, this race will end under green flag conditions.
Oh, they split the leaders.
3 wide for second. Gordon Spain leads. Matthew Legato on the bottom. Pete Tart up top. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 lap to go in the Talladega Dash for Frontier Truck Tour. No matter what, we're racing back to the green. Pete Tart outside, leading by half a truck. Brett Murphy gets to his rear bumper. G. Spain getting a push from Douglas Henry on the bottom. And now it's a drag race down the back straightaway. Douglas Henry, he looks to the inside. They're dogging. There's a car in the wall. That's Chris Fleming. And into turn 3, Pete Tart still has the advantage. Brad Murphy looks to the inside. There's Derek Stanley wrecking the back.
Wrecking behind.
Brad Murphy out front in front of Pete Tart. Half a truck, barely. Derek Stanley to his rear bumper. 3 playoff drivers, 1 picture. Side by side, Pete Tart has it by half a truck. Here goes Brad Murphy on the inside. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Tart's leading.
Oh.
Here goes Brad Murphy to the line. Pete Tart got it.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Good win,
Oh
Pete.
my, Wesley, you're actually the GOAT. You just won that. Oh,
Good win. Good win.
Good win, Pete. Yeah, go win. Good win.
oh my gosh. Thank you, Wesley. Holy fuck.
Alicia, that was magical. And I think the last guy everybody in the playoff picture wanted to see win got it done with help from teammate Wesley Kuznov. He said it there as they crossed the line in post-race. Wesley, you won me that race. Pete Tart gets it done. Brett Murphy just could not get enough on that bottom with Derek Stanley. Their top 5 looks like this. Pop-Tart Pete, Wesley Kuznov, Brett Murphy, Ricky Wentworth, Gordon Spain. And what a hard-fought win it's been for Pete Tart. Frontier Truck Tour, he can do it all. The 1.5 miles, the short tracks, the road courses, and the super speedways. Pop-Tart Pete is going to burn it down, the winner of the Season 3 Dega Dash. And I got to say, Alicia, I think this might cement his championship. Knowing the tracks that are coming up, he just has to have a good finish, a decent finish, and he could secure the championship in the Frontier Truck Tour and potentially be the first to win both.
It'll definitely be a Herculean effort to try to overtopple him off of this throne here. What a big win for him here, especially coming back after being involved in those early crashes.
We're going to talk to him. Pop-Tart Pete finishes his burnout. We're going to drag him up into the booth. Pete Tart, can you believe it? Winner of the Dega Dash.
Oh my gosh, no, I cannot believe it, Noah.
Pete, when you're taking the green-white checkered green flag, your first attempt here in the Dega Dash for Season 3, what's going through your head? Do you expect that second yellow to come out? Are you just no holds bar, drive your way to the front? You know, what kind of moves do you got to make to put yourself in that position without being the one that gets wrecked?
I mean, we definitely had some close calls and were involved in a few wrecks earlier. I knew that the top would roll, so down the backstretch on the last lap, once we made it to the white, I knew I just had to keep the top because I could suck his right rear if he got to the bottom, which he did.
Pause.
And then, I mean, Wesley really won that race for us. He could have gone top of 3, and he could have had a shot, or I think it was Brett Murphy, who would have won it. But, I mean, shout out to Wesley. He won that for us. That was That was a heck of a race.
With a guy pushing you glued to your rear bumper you're not the most familiar with, what are you expecting on that last lap?
I mean, I was definitely expecting to be left out to dry. Kind of remnants of last year. I mean, last year I finished second. I remember just we put ourselves in position 2 years in a row, and just some great teamwork. So yeah.
Alicia?
I was going to ask if you and Wesley had any sort of agreement or just any conversation at all throughout the day. Did you feel comfortable with him pushing you behind, or were you worried that it resulted in you being turned?
I mean, there was definitely a moment there on the front with about 5 to go where it got real squiggly. I think it was just an awkward push, but no, I definitely trust Wesley. He's talented behind the wheel, and I mean, he was a great pusher there all the way till the end.
One
Well,
final
Pop-Tart
question, Pete.
go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
you
one
go
final
ahead.
question, Pete. This is a huge win, not just as a single event, but for the championship as a whole. How confident are you that you can win it completely?
It's definitely, as much as I love Hunter, it's definitely feels good that he didn't have the best of days. So hopefully we can increase our points lead a little bit going into my favorite track, New Hampshire.
Pete's Hart increased the points lead tonight, and he may even be guaranteed your champion here in the Frontier Truck Tour. But another great showing, and I said to Pete's Hart, the super speedways, the road courses, the short tracks, the mile and a halves, you can do it all. Congratulations.
Thank you, Noah.